Welcome everybody to another episode of Kubi Builds. As you can tell from the intro, today is going to be focused on this little guy over here. We desperately need to make some changes around here. As you can see, we have like a couple glass platforms, we have some leaves, we have a little bit of water. You know, it's severely underdeveloped for our base area. We need to make a statement when they come in here, and that's what we're going to be doing. I've been doing a little bit of experimenting on stream, by the way. You should definitely check me out. Here, you know, go to this link here, or I'll post it in the description. I have been doing mostly Runecraft streams, but I've snuck a couple TMC ones in there, including the last stream I did with the famous Jake from Minecraft. So definitely give me a follow there and check me out. Try to join a live stream. It's been fun. I guess since we're doing that too, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been watching these last couple videos. The support's been out of this world. Little space pun. And on the live streams as well. I've been blown away. It's been awesome. So definitely, if you want to join in with a bunch of other fun people on the live streams, definitely go do that. Okay, with that out of the way, like I was saying, when I was testing on the live stream, I found that we can decorate. Actually, we can decorate with some stairs and some slabs and make something look good even without full blocks. And I have an idea. We need to grab the stuff, but I have an idea. So let's head back over to our actual storage room. That's the other issue. That's the other thing. If we have time for it, here we go. Here's something we haven't done in a little while. Here's a classic segment, Scooby-Doo list. I haven't done this in a little while, but here's what we're going to be doing today. Number one, we're going to be decorating the gateway, trying to make it fit into our space theme. We want like kind of techie, spacey, all that, and then we're actually going to work in some function into the gateway as well. A way to set up a portal easily, or set up a way to get in and out as easily as we can. Number two, we are going to be heading over to the new industrial district that's been getting a lot of development recently. And we are going to be adding our first farm there, which will be an ice farm. That'll come in handy. Then, if we have time, and strongly emphasis on the if we have time, we are going to be working on a storage room on this episode. And if we don't have time, we are going to at least be laying out where we want the storage room. If we don't actually get it done, we'll get the location for it and kind of like the rest of the infrastructure. With all that said, let's jump into it. Okay. So I'm trying a little something different here. Kind of, you know, doing a live talk while I'm watching my replay back. Trying to test it out. Let me know what you guys think. But basically what I wanted to go for here was like a futuristic looking design here. Like this becomes some sort of like force field type thing, you know, projected, like kind of futuristic looking entrance here. I ended up scrapping this middle stuff here. I didn't really like that too much, but then here I'm testing out like copper and stuff. I ended up using a lot of copper today. Shout out to Holland at the bee farm. He made a really nice bee farm. I had to tear mine down in the end. That's in the nether. I mean, that's a different story, but yeah. So I ended up trying out like a couple different things. Like I tried out some, I wanted to make this look metallic basically, and I wasn't exactly sure how to go about it. I ended up just going with copper. Maybe they should add like iron slabs or something. It would be kind of cool. But yeah, I ended up trying out a couple of different things, a couple of different like variants of copper. And then I ended up switching out to, so it's like mostly copper, I think eventually. But yeah, as you can see, I wanted to have like the top and bottom this kind of coppery metallic color, and then in the middle this nice blue and cyan and light blue. I think I used 3 colors. I think I got cyan, I got blue, and I got light blue. And then I was testing here I am testing the spawning, because for those of you guys who don't know, the gateways, they work on like an 11 by 11 radius, and they'll pick like the closest block. They'll start like somewhere like over here, like the furthest block out in a certain, I think it's like northwest or something like that. But then it will go to the highest block. So like right here, obviously, this is the highest block within that radius there. And I end up kind of testing to see what height I wanted at. I don't know. I was doing a lot of testing because I wasn't exactly sure like where I wanted everything to be. And then obviously it matters for like when we're done with everything, you know, like where I want the floors to be and everything. I can't really raise any blocks higher than here, you know, at least within 11 by 11. So I was doing lots of testing to make sure it was going where we wanted it to go. Like as you see here, I'm spawning here, but not there. You know, there's a lot of weird nuance to the spawning here. And then obviously you can't spawn on slabs or stuff like that. So that's why I'm using lots of stairs and slabs and stuff and glass panes instead of glass blocks, because I was forced to. I had to. But anyway, this is kind of what I ended up building with here. I changed it a little bit. I think I get rid of the stone and the andesite and stuff, and then I changed up the copper a little bit, but this is generally what we went with, the shape of it at least. And let's jump to the next part. So obviously I jumped quite a bit ahead here. I tried many different types of glass layering, which I don't even have the resource pack on this version. I need to change update my version here. But I tried many different versions. I tried like, you know, doing something with the sides, you know, different layers of the glass. I tried like the every other, and then I tried like them all on top of each other. And then I tried doing this, and I do actually kind of like this, but none of it was really what I was going for. So I kind of decided to tear all this stuff down eventually, like right now. And I went with something different. So let me hop forward a little bit in time here and show you what I ended up doing. So I ended up tearing all that down, and then I still kind of like this. This looks good in the connected textures pack, and that's kind of the difficulty of connected textures and resource packs, by the way. You know, I usually try to make things looking good in vanilla Minecraft, because I feel like that's how most players experience the game. I know a lot of people have shaders and stuff, and a lot of creators have shaders. I like shaders. I think they look cool. They can add to the game. But I feel like I notice a lot of people who like use shaders to amplify their build instead of amplifying their build for the shader. You know what I mean? Am I making sense? I don't know if I'm making sense, but basically I know a lot of people who kind of use it as a crutch. Like, oh, their build might not be perfect, but they throw on a little shaders, they throw on a resource pack, and oh, it looks way better. You know, I try to avoid that, but recently I've kind of had a different philosophy change where I'm a little more liberal when it comes to resource packs. And it's simple stuff like connected textures on my glass, or certain mods that I like that are cosmetic, but they're fun cosmetic stuff. So I've had a little bit of a change when it comes to that stuff. Let me know what you guys like to do and what you guys like to see. You know, if you guys like the pure vanilla look like I do, maybe I'll go back to be pure vanilla. You know, I'll try my best to make it look as good as possible with vanilla. But if you guys are okay with some subtle changes, I think that's what we'll be doing. And I still don't know if I'm going to do shaders per se. Maybe a couple cinematic shots with shaders, maybe some thumbnails with shaders. But I don't, you know, as a general rule, I still don't really like using shaders all the time. But yeah, this is basically what I ended up doing. And then one more time, jump forward a little bit. I end up, oh, here I am, finally. I end up doing this ring around here with andesite. And then do I get to the railing or not yet? So then I try and go around and do some stuff with like a railing kind of, because this is basically, it's going to be like this huge well here. It's like an energy well. and there's going to be like a little way to get in, but it's mainly, this is like the centerpiece of our base. This will be like the first thing we'll see, obviously, and it'll be like the nexus. It will be like, there'll be informational stuff around here, stuff, you know, how to get around my base, all that kind of goody stuff. And then, you know, off in these different directions is where I'll kind of be putting my storage, my farms, my, you know, decoration stuff. You know, it's all going to be all around here. I guess I should talk to you guys about the future plans. Basically, when I originally thought of this base idea, I thought it'd be cool to have like a fleet of ships, you know, and this fleet of ships would be kind of floating around, and each one, you would have like a specific purpose for my base, and yada 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 yada. And I still want to do that idea. I think that's a cool idea, but I've kind of had a little bit of change of pace, some change of ideas, and oh brother, look at all these Endermen. Look at all these guys spawning in here. That's one thing that's worrying me, is all the Endermen and making sure everything's lit up, but I'll handle it. Anyway, I kind of had a little bit of a change of idea. I still like the space theme, obviously, but I think we're going to be doing like a big space station, you know, a futuristic looking space station. And that'll be the docking port for all these ships that we want to make. So they'll be at, you know, in some of the bays here, at some of the landing spaces, at the space station. And we'll do a tandem thing, you know. Maybe there'll probably be some floating off into space, I'm sure. I still kind of want to convert maybe one of these to like a planet or something, depending how crazy we want to get. But yeah, that's kind of the new change of plan. So the space station is going to be our main hub, and then we'll have ships docked at the space station, and then we'll have some ships floating off and around, you know. I have an idea for like mining, you know, like say we have like, you know, I'm taking a lot of inspiration from the game No Man's Sky. I really enjoy that game. I think it's a cool game. And just kind of those kind of space type games in general, you know, whether it be that or Star Citizen or any of those, but in a lot of those games, they'll have like a ship you can mine with. You mine asteroids, you know, that would be cool, you know, build a little asteroid belt and then have like a ship mining from it and have like a laser and stuff, you know, adding stuff like that would be really cool. But anyway, I think that is about it for this part here. We have our main entrance kind of done here. I want to add a couple more things, but it's generally all pretty much what we did. We added up like a railing too, and then I added in like a slime block here to get up here eventually. I don't know if I do this in this part or not, but anyway, here is the completed entrance finished. I should get the connecting glass. I need to do that still. I keep forgetting. I'm on a different one. This is my Runecraft mod pack. I have a Runecraft mod pack, and I have a TMC mod pack. I should just have one mod pack with everything I need, because that would make things easier. I don't like switching. I like having just one thing for everything. But anyway, that's this pretty much done here. Hopefully you guys like it. I wanted to briefly talk about the storage room as well. I don't think we'll have time for it today, because I'm already getting pretty long and I'm already behind, you know. But basically the storage room is going to be like kind of a branch from one of these things. So this area will be kind of big here. I think we'll have like some docking areas, or we'll have like, this area will widen out. Basically this will be a bigger main entrance, but then we'll have like pathways like this, and this, and that will be kind of where everything leads to. So like maybe we'll have like a botanical area, you know, and that section, that wing of the space station will be this way. You know, our storage room will be this way. You know, our other kind of farms will be this way, you know, and so on and so forth. And it's either going to be in one of these wings, or it's going to be right in the center here, depending on how lazy I get. Because it is nice to have your storage right when you get somewhere. You know, I don't want to have to walk around somewhere, but it would be cool to have these designated wings. So like I said, I haven't fully planned it out, but it's either going to be on a wing like here or here, or it'll be just right as you load in, it'll be like part of the main area. But we'll see as we keep developing this area. I have a lot of like detail stuff. I've been really loving the details recently. I really want to get more into detailing. I feel like I kind of ignore that part, and we're going to be spending a lot of time next episode getting into details. But I won't spoil too much. I won't spoil too much. But we will be doing that. But anyway, let's now hop over to what will take up the rest of the video is the ice farm. So let me throw it to future me. This farm is so cool. It's actually pretty simple to build too. I mean, you just basically, you got the flying machines up top, and it gets triggered by you going around in the water stream like this. And once you hit one of these pressure plates, it kicks off the pistons, and then just go across and then shoot the ice down. And then it keeps a couple of source blocks here so the water can just regenerate. Pretty neat, pretty neat. And then you just kind of go around and you hold down. Get your ice and you're good to go. It's pretty simple, pretty nice, but works great. So the next part of this build is going to be the exterior. Something that me and Jake are trying to do in this area is decorate our builds up to kind of have like a grungy industrial look. You know, he's done a really great job with this wheat farm here, and I kind of want to do the same thing. And I do have a design in mind. I'll throw a picture up right now. An old actual ice factory, American Ice Company in Baltimore. And I thought it was perfect because it's like this nice rectangular shape of the build. And then I really like the centerpiece where it has like the lettering and like the windows and everything. I think it will look really cool here. The only thing I will change is I think I'm going to flip it around. So like in the picture, you have like kind of that main centerpiece towards the left. I'm going to have it towards the right, or maybe even in the middle. I think I'm going to go with the right. But I think it will just throw together the skyline a little bit better. You know, you have this here, and then you'll have my thing there, and then you have this thing there, which isn't really anything. One of the members is just building stuff, taking up space, but maybe something will go in there eventually. But yeah, I think that's the plan. And I'm going to try a mixture of different blocks. I'm going to try some brick. I'm going to try some hardened clay, maybe some mud brick, maybe some granite. Here's all brick. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do all brick, but I'm going to do a mixture. I'm going to do a mixture. And then I even was thinking maybe we add in some moss and some vines, maybe make it look a little run down on the side. We'll figure some stuff out. I'll kind of tweak as I go, but that's the general plan. Let's grab our materials and get started. Ta-da! Here is most of the build done. I still have a couple of tweaks to do. Like, I wasn't really sure what to do in the corners here. Right here. I'm not sure what to do here. I still need to work them out. And then, like, for the bottom, the base of it. But that's because there's going to be a lot of terraforming going on in this area. As you can see, I've started working on some of it. I'm working on a way downwards from the door. But then I also want to, I'll show you over here. I also want to have some truck docks so we can like be loading up the ice, and then maybe even have a actual truck here. That's going to require a lot of land being rebuilt here as well. So I don't know. It's going to be a big project that I'll have to come back to because we are running out of time majorly. I am way behind schedule for this episode. And I do apologize. I appreciate you guys all watching my videos. My last video, by the time this comes out, has surpassed my first one, or at least it's very close. They're very close together, which is just has blown my mind. I really do appreciate the support, and also everyone who's been checking me out on RuneCraft. But yeah, I'm working hard here. I'm trying to give my episodes out. I think next episode should be a little lighter on the recording aspect of things, but we are going to get a lot of stuff done still. Hopefully that one won't take as long. But anyway, yeah, here's the build here. This is the most recent thing I added was a couple of docks here, and I did some springs. I did some kind of little detailing in here. I'm trying to incorporate some fun stuff, and then I tried working on like the base here, kind of some inside wall stuff. I was thinking, because the docks are here, I didn't really want to put them up any higher because I feel like that would have looked weird on the outside. But because the docks are here, that we should maybe lower this platform down a little. Watch it, you. I also installed the mod, what is it called? It's called like actions or hold my items. Basically, it like adds like little animations and stuff. So you got this, you got a little bow, you could show that. And you can like scoop up items, and then like the water flows, and then I think a boat looked really cool too. Oh yeah, look at the boat, chest boat, look, and it opens and stuff. It's kind of cute. A lot of people have axolotls as well. If you're wondering what something is, leave a comment or something. I'm gonna keep it mostly vanilla for this series, but you might see some stuff that I like from streaming. I'll bring it over here and vice versa. But as I was saying, I feel like we should drop this down here. As you can see here, it has like a water line right here. Let me see if I can get up here real quick. Do a little parkour. Okay, there we go. It has a water system for all the ice after you collect it. It goes from both platforms down into here and then up into a storage. What if we just got rid of this up part and have it just drop into a storage? And then it could be level with the floor. I feel like that would just make a lot of sense. We wouldn't have to have all this uppity stuff. We could just have it straight line. We do have to keep this part because this is how we activate the flying machine here. And we'll have to decorate this somehow. I do want to add more decorations on the inside. We just have to be careful because there's a couple of limiting factors, right? We need glass above all the ice here, otherwise ice doesn't form. Even here I decided to go with copper grates just to try and match the wall color a little bit. I used a lot of copper in this build, as you can see. This is probably the most copper I've ever used in a build. I've been using a lot of wax, but yeah, I use copper like all in here. I use copper right here, obviously, and the whole etching around the side here too is all copper. So yeah, I don't know. We'll work something out, but we're a little bit limited is what I was saying. And I'll have to work around that. We can't really touch a lot of this stuff. We don't want to get in the way of the flying machine either. And then, but we can decorate this up. And I think we could drop this down here. We don't need this whole platform here. We just need to keep the water stream, and then we'll have like a ladder up like here. Maybe we'll keep this ladder, or we'll decorate this ladder a little better. But I think that will be a next time thing, because I want to take you guys back over to the end, kind of lay out my plans for the storage room. As I said, that was going to be the last thing. We will unfortunately not be getting to the storage room today. That might be a next episode thing. We will be laying out plans for it, at least. Everybody likes plans, right? Okie dokie. It looks like we are pretty much done with the episode here today. Just wanted to kind of run over a little bit more of the end part. We have the railing here, like I was talking about. I think I like it. I think it looks cool. And then the idea for this room, we're going to have like some tech stuff kind of wrapping around here. I'm not really exactly sure what level this floor will be at. You know, there'll be some screens around here that we'll add little decorations for, and then we'll have like some big screens kind of around here is what I'm thinking of. And then as it kind of spans out here, like I said, we'll have these 4 main pathways going to different areas. And I've been bouncing back and forth about the storage room, right? Because on one hand, I like having my storage close, but on the other hand, I like the organization aspect. So I was thinking, I was like, what if we have storage going this way, and then what if we have bulk storage this way? You know, it'd be kind of cool, you know, having like different wings. And then, like I mentioned too, like I kind of like the idea of a botany one. Maybe like a med bay or something too, where like we have like potions, armor, that could be like a certain area. And we could have stuff all the way around too. Like this, it's going to be, I'm thinking of a big circle, a huge circular outside here. But the main 4 wings, you know, those will be like the main things. And then we'll have like little stuff in between. I was just thinking like with the potions, I would love to make an auto brewer. I've been meaning to make one for a while. So making one over here would be cool. But yeah, that's kind of the plans. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I feel like I cut a lot of it off of this episode, but we are running so long. You know, there's only so much I could do within my time constraints here. I don't really want to post a hour-long video unless you guys want to see that, but I don't really like doing that. And I'm already, like I said, the main thing is I'm so far behind. If I'm not like 2 months late to posting this, I would do more, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. You live and you learn. You try to do things differently. And that's what I'm going to try to do for this next episode, because I'm making a hard promise. I'm making a hard promise. This next episode, I'm going to have May 1st. Okay, I'm locking myself in here. May 1st. I don't know. Okay, maybe I would say May 1st, but beginning of May, I promise. Beginning of May. That's still a big promise, because that's only like 20 days away. So be on the lookout for that. I appreciate you guys' support. I already said all that stuff, but I do really mean it. I appreciate it. And I am looking forward to showing you what I got going on in the next episode. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye.